Well, welcome back yet again. We are back in another loop. I was kind of hoping that when we left off last time that we might get to see what's going on with Bizette, but no such luck. We did make some progress with the plot, however, in that we learned about a little bit more about Child Gilgamesh. But we still don't really know why, we know that he drank a fucking potion that turned him into a kid. But other than that, we have no idea what significance Child Gilgamesh is going to have to the plot of Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Anyways, let's see what's going on the streets. They're pretty much nothing, just something at the Emiya residence, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else going on here. Unless we go to the big bridge, and okay, there is something going on in Fuyuki City. There's two important things here. There's an important thing at the church and an important thing at the ghost house. Well, we know that Bizette is hanging out at the ghost house, and we know that Karen might be at the church, so let's go check the church, I guess, and see if we can learn anything there. At least we assume Karen's at the church. There are no signs of human presence in the chapel. The priest, Kodamine, is deceased. Well, officially he has gone missing. A replacement had come, but he returned to his country some time ago. The church, as a result, was sealed off. Oof. I rest myself on the bench. Left in solitude like this, many piled up questions begin to resurface in my mind. There are several things I ought to think about. The first and foremost among them. What you're forgetting, right, Oni-san? Oh boy, is he here? Yep, Child Gilgamesh is here, speak of the devil. So says the blonde boy standing by the altar. You. Hello, you look like you were having some trouble, so I came to give you a hand. He walks towards me slowly. It gives me flashbacks of the figure of the former priest who once existed in this chapel. He would pinpoint my worries precisely and expose a truth I didn't want to know. What I'm forgetting, huh? And you would happen to know? Yes, I do. I'm sure Saber-san and Sakura-san must be quite perplexed by now about why you would be slacking off, that is. Slacking off? Sure, I'm not aggressively trying to get to the bottom of the situation, but doesn't slacking off have more of a different nuance to it? Slacking off? So what have I been skipping out on? Your daily training, Oni-san. You haven't been using magic at all, have you? Did you go practice in the storehouse even once since the war restarted? That's just because I didn't know how. No, I just didn't have the opportunity to practice. Now that someone has brought it up to me, it warrants only a, oh, that's right. That is significant. It's a little abnormal for a training maniac like you not to practice just because there's no good opportunity. Yeah, that is true. Just as the boy says, the very idea of Emiyashiro failing to train himself is abnormal. So that was the real cause behind this uneasy feeling. Yeah, he hasn't really trained at all. That was a little bit surprising. He did train a lot in Fate's Day Night, just train his magic, but he didn't do any of that in Hollow Ataraxia so far. The question is, why had I forgotten this fundamental habit? If there is an enemy, then was this feeling itself some kind of magic planted by the enemy? I was forgetting my magic training. Wait, does this mean I can't use reinforcement anymore? That's not possible. Oni-san, you only forgot about your own powers and weren't using them. People can work with most of what they know of, but they can't venture into the unknown. They aren't aware of it, so they can't do it. The gears start turning with a clang. The functions that had simply existed but not been activated gradually begin to move. That's right. I haven't lost my circuits. I can fight back whenever I want to. What I forgot was the way to fight. This is the wrought iron that no one else could copy, that no one else knew, possessed only by the magic user by the name of Emiyashiro. Yep, but you should know that it's suicide to go into real combat without trying it at least once, but please don't forget about practicing in the usual place. I guess that's all he had to say. The boy begins to leave the chapel the same way the former priest would. Thanks for the advice, but is it really okay? Didn't you say you were told not to get too involved? It's not okay, really. I'll definitely get scolded. She's scary when she's mad. He's definitely talking about Karen. Before, she used to insult me with her sarcasm, but now she'd plain ignore me. It's pretty rough. Porca miseria. Pork... what? It's slang. She wasn't brought up very well. It sounds Italian. Say what? Blondie goes up the stairs with a gloomy expression. Well, as long as I made some progress. The basic thing I forgot. I remembered what the one weapon that Shiro. No, actually, I remembered the fact that he has a weapon. Or that, more precisely, he is a weapon. He's a collection of swords. As soon as I have a spare moment, I'll have to restart that training. Well, we did get something important out of that, at least. Okay, so there's something new with Mitsuzuri at the big bridge, and there's something new at the Emiya residence. Can we still go check the ghost house? Okay, no, we can't. Well, I guess we could either go to the Emiya residence or go to the big bridge. Let's head over to the big bridge and see what's up with Mitsuzuri. As I'm walking around with no particular goal in mind, looking for clues. Oh, Emiya, what a surprise! What brings you here? I suddenly come across Mitsuzuri. What do you mean? It's not like there's something odd about taking a walk in the park. Just something to pass the time. Aren't you here for a walk too? Me? I don't have that much free time. Ah, that's right. You have lots of free time, huh? Alright then, I have a job for you. Go see someone as a former archery club member. Huh? Remember Saida-san, third year? Kind of. A somewhat restless girl with a ponytail, right? Right, she was suddenly hospitalized, and visiting her on behalf of the archery club ended up being my responsibility. What's the injury? As usual, you only worry about somebody else's problems. Don't worry, it's nothing serious, just acute intestine inflammation. And so I need to get flowers, get well gifts and stuff. Well, the present Captain Mato is busy with something, and so I volunteered as the former captain. Okay, this is gonna be weird. Huh? The florist storefront caught me by surprise. Before, it was filthy. Well, that might have been kind of rude, but it certainly didn't feel very clean. But now, it looks like a completely different store. Welcome! Oh, the new clerk's coming. A bit enthusiastic, maybe. A tall man in an apron suddenly emerges from the back. Oh, let me guess who it is. Yep, it's him. So he retired from fishing and now he's a florist. He really looks like someone that I know. No way. That guy, a florist? It's probably just a coincidence. But he's actually looking at me with a smile. Oh, it's you, kid. What's up? It's him, no doubt about it. I mean, can I ask what you're doing? Can't you tell by just looking? Part-time. It's a part-time job. A youngster like you would know. It ain't that mysterious. First of all, the way that apron suits you is a mystery. Don't say that. Can't knock on a stranger's door and expect their hospitality to include food and drink. Not in this era. Gotta pay off at least the drinking allowance, you know. Is that right? Sounds like even you have it rough. Yeah, but still, there's a side benefit. This place is like a lure if I put some effort into it. What do you think? Lancer points to the storefront. What's the side benefit? Do you know him, Emiya? Someone I'd rather not know as well as I do, actually. You two seem rather close, though. Welcome, miss. Are you looking for a flower? I need a bouquet for a hospital visit. Can I browse for something in my budget? Mitsuzuri quickly puts up 2 fingers. Nodding, Lancer starts picking out flowers skillfully. He really does act like an actual florist. Flowers for a hospital visit, you say? You look like a student of Hamurahara. Was it a friend of yours that this misfortune has befallen? A fellow club member, the archery club to be exact. What? Good. In this day and age, when people have no sense of duty or honor, dedication to offer a flower to a fallen compatriot is something to be admired. I couldn't quite get along with bow practitioners before, but sounds like you'd be just fine. It seems that this man mistakenly sees the archery club as some combat group whose members watch each other's backs in a bloody battle. I'm moved. I mean, to tears, passing away in the care of a woman like you. That guy will surely rest in peace. It's more blessing than a warrior could ever hope for. She isn't dying. What we want isn't a floral tribute. Ah, what the heck are you making? I stop him as Lancer swiftly picks out a burial flower collection. Oh my god. But to be honest, his bouquet did show a pretty good sense of style. A warrior? Do you happen to practice martial arts too? Well, more or less, be it swords, bows, or even tanks. Wait, tanks? When did you learn how to drive a tank? Spears are my specialty though. Sojutsu, the ancient martial art? What kind of ancient art is that supposed to be? His expression seems to ask. Mitsuzuri, I think you should just leave it at that. That aside, Lancer, mind making us a get well bouquet instead? What's with that attitude, Emiya? Are you saying I shouldn't be interested in martial arts? This fella had a lot happen. Bet he's still holding a grudge. One persistent guy he is. You're alive now. How about you call it off? I have a dreadful hypothesis. Lancer is the kind of guy that goes, it ain't no murder if no one found out after stabbing someone's heart. Yeah, nobody saw it happen. Emiya, I don't know what it is, but being a sore loser isn't nice. You may have given up the bow, but please don't lose the martial artist spirit with it. Sulking over something so trivial, what's with that? Fool. Fool! If you can brush it off with a you're alive, so what's the problem? This world ought to be one big coliseum with fountains of blood and gore. Oh my god. Yeah, he has a point. I mean, if everybody acted that way, there would really be no law and order. But you know, I've never met a spearman before. Actually, I practiced with a naginata myself. Now that you mention it, isn't that your specialty? Yeah, it has a strong reputation as a kind of martial art suited for weak girls, so it's not very popular with guys. Oh, something like a halberd, basically. But, you know, there's no such thing as gender among warriors. It's only about whether you're fit for the job or not. And at any rate, my own spear. Hey, wait, that's... A 2-meter-long spear is being easily swung around by the florist's gentle hands. As it transformed into a whip by a flick of his wrist, the spear roams freely about the shop. Okay, can he just produce weapons in the middle of the street like that? And where was he keeping those spears? That's right, it's been passed down onto me by a certain female warrior. Too bad it's not well known in this land. Not a single petal fell in the flower-filled shop, and nothing but the desired flowers were plucked out. Oh, so he used the spear to pluck the flowers? Strange stuff. Wow, I mean, it sure is an unusual technique. An unusual guy whipping out a spear to cut some flowers, more like it. Well, young lady, perhaps you and me could be spear brothers. Oh, not at all. A skill this magnificent. Someone like me could not stand to compare. Nah, more so than skill, it's the utter lack of common sense needed to wave around a spear inside a flower shop. Huh? Not you too, Mitsuzuri. Yeah, she gave in to his charm. Every woman around will just give in to Lancer's charm. Where did you happen to study spearmanship? I'd definitely be, happy if you could spare some time to tell me about it. I have as many old stories to tell as there are flowers here, if not more. Right, all done. Lancer hands over the finished bouquet. It's soft and tender, as if expressing its creator's feelings, and with such an amazing skill of his. Mitsuzuri keeps admiring the bouquet. It really is great. Huh? Flowers look their best, especially in the hands of a beautiful martial artist. What a sight for sore eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lancer laughs as he brushes off his apron. That ain't flattery, just the truth. But, you know, it's all fine with me. Of course it is. Mitsuzuri smiles happily. I've known her since she came to Homurahara, and this is the first time I've seen her act girl-like. Well, this one's on me. He gives the surprised Mitsuzuri one more flower. This is... for you, who remembers her comrades in arms. An amber flower. Does it not suit you? It's not that... I was just a little surprised. Which reminds me, I haven't asked your name. Well, just call me Lancer. That's the name I go by nowadays. Okay, my name is... Oh god, what's going on? Ayako. Ah! She just showed up out of nowhere. Ryder! What? Why are you here? I work around here, actually. And so the scent of flowers and Ayako caught me. Ah, the flowers, right? You came to pick some. Oh, no. I just came out to this place to have lunch. And it was more for you than the flowers, Ayako. Oh my god, is she like trying to seduce her or something? What does your lunch have to do with me? Time for another of Ryder's bad habits to show up. Seems that she took a liking to Mitsuzuri and is now closing in as if already on a date. All I want is a normal love! What? Hey, miss, the flowers! Come back! She's running away. Today, I learned a lot about a side of Mitsuzuri I never knew existed. So what's with dragging me along for shopping, I wonder? She just wants to get you caught up in her shenanigans. So I guess both Ryder and Lancer are into Mitsuzuri. Okay. So, something important will happen if we hang around the Imita residence. Probably our training. We need to go train in the storehouse. Trace on. Basic structure. Let's go reinforce some pipes. My heart is beating fast. A clear sense of purpose is thickening the blood throughout my body. Now I see. This is why I've been coming to the storehouse for no reason at all. My body continued to plead even as my mind was unaware. Go there. Take back your former self. Know your weapon. Without it, I can't fight alongside Saber. My body remembered that truth. Sitting in a full lotus position, I focus my nerves. Now, let's see how well I can still use it. How long have I not done this? Seeing as I can't recall even that, I might have problems just activating the circuits. I have no confidence in myself. With the intention of going all the way back to the basics, I'm buried deep in myself. But it seems that all my worries were pointless. Activating my circuits and attempting reinforcement magic succeeded without a hitch. Huh? It isn't that big of a deal when I know what I'm doing. Anticlimactic, but I suppose this is what it usually feels like to get out of a slump. Also, surprisingly, this was interesting in itself. This was the first time that it felt fun to train and use magic. I can finally go further. I think of the sniper that I shouldn't have seen yet. I have finally remembered what my own weapon is. Now, I'll polish this power for as long as time permits. Well, you don't have too long. You only have like 4 days, and we just used up the first day. Now that the weapon is retrieved, what's left is finding the target. In the wilderness where cicadas sing, there lies the enemy. So somewhere in a forest? We're not looking for Archer trying to snipe people on the roof. Okay, to the streets we go. And there's something new at the temple. We still can't go to the ghost house, but we can go to the station front and talk to Saber. Or we can go to the temple. There's something new at the temple. Alright, let's go talk to Caster. What are you doing here, Emiya? As you can see, I'm cleaning the floor. I wring out the washcloth and dirty black water drips into the bucket. No, that much is obvious. What I do not comprehend is why would Emiya be here of all places, wiping down the temple floor? Oh, that. As part of my strength training routine, I try to utilize the muscles I don't normally use by going up and down the long flight of stone steps. Issei's older brother came by. Oh, Shiro-kun, how about doing some cleaning? Seeing the motivation that I had to train my body, I was asked to assist with simple cleaning. Exchanging a brief greeting with the ever-present assassin at the temple gate, I entered the temple grounds. I was expecting to be sweeping up the fallen leaves for sure, but also eventually got dragged inside the temple hall. And that's how I was entrusted with mopping the temple floor. Why did you not refuse? You guys help me all the time, and besides, cleaning the floor in a temple is kind of fun. Issei takes a deep breath. Ugh. Amazed, or not. Kind of hard to tell. Oh, no. Shouldn't I be the one saying that with how completely I rely on your assistance for student council matters? He concludes with a sigh. Ugh. However, does this mean you would really go as far as cleaning your friend's house when asked? It depends. I ended up cleaning Tosuka's place before as well. Oh no, don't mention that to him. I keep the keys while she's away too, and so Issei's disapproval grows even stronger. What's wrong? Well, even more than my anger towards Tosuka for forcing this kind of job on you, the fact that we're now making the exact same request that she did is making me a little dizzy. Yeah, you're no different from the evil Tosuka. Nonetheless, now that I'm Tosuka's apprentice, cleaning the master's house is also part of my job. So you've already accepted your role as her slave, I see. One should always tidy up after making a mess. This is key. Oh no. Excuse me. Some refreshments for Emiya-kun from Raycon. Make sure you wash your hands before taking a break. Kazuki-sensei came along with a tray. Looks like some tea and Japanese sweets. It doesn't take long to notice that these are a whole class above our tea cakes, probably reserved for guests. Raycon wouldn't come, Soichiro? No, he has a visiting parishioner to attend to. He said that you should eat together with Emiya. Much thanks. I'll be off to wash my hands then. But is it alright to come back here? Cannot settle down in front of the Buddha. Then use my room. Unfortunately, the guest room is occupied right now. And we know who's occupying it. The whole scene is quite bizarre. We're drinking tea in Kazuki-sensei's room, sitting around a tray. As if personally assigned to us, Kazuki-sensei is pouring us tea, but I still can't settle down. Looking around the room, I realize there's a whole lot of cupboards and odd-looking bottled ships all over the place. The reason is that those are all made with Western liquor bottles, rather than 1.8 Japanese ones. But I do wonder what's inside all those cupboards. I didn't realize it until I actually came in here, but this is also the newlywed caster's room. In that case, inside there... Emiya. Tea. Kazuki-sensei's voice brings me back to reality. I accept the offered teacup, and a nice smell floats into the air. As I thought, this must be pretty high-quality fare. It wouldn't be polite to ignore it, so I help myself to the tea cakes too. Sweets taste particularly great after hours of hard work, and even more so together with delicious tea. Saber would be delighted if I brought her a few. You seem to be enjoying yourself. Did you like it? Do I really look that way? Yep, nods Issei. Kazuki-sensei just continues sipping tea, expressionless as always. I do believe we still have some of those left. How many do you want to take with you? It wouldn't be nice of me to impose that far, would it? All I did was mop the floor a bit. I don't mind. In that case, I guess it's okay to take a few as souvenirs. The second I thought that, the door slides open. Soichiro-sama, lunch is ready. Oh my. Caster, still holding a tray, looks at me curiously. Never mind Issei-kun, but why is the boy here, I wonder? Well, things happened. That's all I can manage. The part about the flight of stone steps would be quite difficult to start from too. But more importantly, the stuff on the tray finally caught my interest. The food that has just been put down on the nearby desk must be today's lunch. Caster, did you make that? That's right. Got a problem with that? Well, rather than complain, I'm just wondering about the artless simplicity of it, but could it be that cooking isn't your forte? Did her ears just twitch? It's burnt, flooded with oil, and to top it off, kind of gaudy. It's yellow, or maybe red. No, perhaps violet is the best word for it. What? For you to say it like that, I guess you must be able to cook too. Well, if you didn't know, Shiro is pretty much the Iron Chef. Yeah, Emiya's cooking is excellent. Issei chimes in right away. Now why would you say that? I mean, I did actually get a chance to try his cooking. To be correct, he tries it all the time in the student council room. Even if Caster isn't that great at cooking, I can understand why. She was originally a king's daughter, in other words, royalty. And while she probably has no experience with things like cooking, she is certainly persistent. Then again, it's just not right for a hero to be good at cooking in the first place. Like that red one, or the one with dark skin, or with white hair. Wait a minute. Does he just not remember? I guess he doesn't remember Archer. He's just like, oh yeah, that guy. So you are good at cooking? Right, I've always cooked for myself. I guess you could say so. After this unusual display, as if having thought of something. Caster, if you feel that your skills are inferior, why don't you take a few lessons from Emiya? He's just proposed something outrageous. Huh? The three of us react simultaneously. Of course, that is only if you two agree. He continues indifferently, as if our reaction did not disturb him in the least. If Soichiro-sama kindly says so, it is not a problem for me. This time it's Issei and me, who never thought Caster would agree to this. Well, she'll agree if Soichiro suggests it. Everyone's looking at me now. Well, it's true that I'm the only one that hasn't replied yet. Well, I don't really mind. Then it's settled. Do teach my wife well, Emiya. Oh my god, what's going on with Caster? So this is just going to be like an episode of the Cooking with Emiya show, or whatever that show was called. Cooking with the Emiya family. Having received souvenirs from Issei, I leave Ryoto Temple behind. Well, whatever. Really not sure how to describe this development. For now, I wonder what the heck should I teach her? Okay, oh, there's something important to do in the woods. It did say the enemy would show up in the woods. Hopefully this doesn't lead to a dead end. I make my way along the forest path to the hill behind the temple. Today is another nice day. Once I pass through this curtain of trees, a view of the fresh blue sky and the mountain should be waiting for me. What the hell is that? Oh my god! My field of vision expands. The spectacle that greets my eyes is that of a pile of corpses. What? But the one facing off against that abstract scenery isn't me. It's the man with the same origin as me, reciting an unpleasant sutra. Okay, so was that just a hallucination? White sunlight burns my eyes. There are still traces of summer left here at the Ryoto Temple. Ugh, too bright. Looks like the strong sunlight has blinded me for a second. As if all the colors had been inverted, the scenery appeared black for just an instant. Though I'm sure he's been aware of my presence for quite a while, he doesn't spare so much as a glance in my direction. Everything else I saw was a hallucination caused by vertigo, but he sure wasn't. We wait in silence. What we saw, or thought we saw, was the same. The first to break the silence would prove his own impurity. The tension is exacerbated by the sound of insects. I look closely at that familiar back. Now that I think about it, why isn't he wearing his red mantle? I can understand that it would be too hot to wear it in the summer, but it's already fall. No, more importantly, he isn't the type of guy that would remove his armaments like that because of the weather. But still, the sun's getting in the way. This is a favorite spot of mine, but having this many nuisances here is enough to make me want to pick a fight. Hey, you wouldn't have happened to have been somewhere high up wearing that outfit, would you? The forehead that the arrow pierced recalls the pain that it would eventually feel. So we can actually remember stuff like that? And what if I have? I don't believe I happen to have seen you within my range. I thought so. I haven't seen you at night either. I just felt you were there. At any rate, I have to cause everything that could possibly happen to occur. Kill or be killed. Once I caused both to happen, I only have to choose the outcome that's more convenient. My turn to ask questions. Are you patrolling Fuyuki with Saber during the night again? I am. I haven't been to Shinto though, for some reason. Or, more precisely, I haven't been able to go. I wouldn't recommend you do. Stay away from Shinto after dark. If you try to cross the bridge from Miyama, you'll be needlessly attacked. Huh? What? Don't tell me you're the troll guarding the bridge. The Shinto area is my shooting range. Those who enter will receive warning shots. Yeah, that's a warning shot, alright, getting shot in the head. From what he's saying, he's driven back the other servants already. Because of that, Lancer, Ryder, and Caster can't come near Shinto at night. Lancer's place of residence should be the church, but maybe he camps out in the mountains. Well, leaving that aside. Oh-ho, and that includes me. You're an exception. I will shoot you between the eyes without any warning. Oh, okay. He's not lying. The bowman's intent to kill me is real. I can't believe you're still out to kill me. With Tosuka gone, now's your chance. Is that it? Obviously, with Rin involved, it would get complicated. My master dislikes battles that don't produce results. On the other hand, she's quite the warmonger. I'll agree with that. As much as she likes competition, Tosuka isn't the type that goes looking for a fight, But if one starts, she's the kind that would get involved, and as long as she's in it, she'll aim to come out on top. Yeah, if Tosca were around, she wouldn't let you do as you please. Even if the Holy Grail War were to resume, she'd wait and observe the situation until someone else began a battle. Which reminds me, I haven't asked you yet. Archer, what do you think about what's going on? Okay, so I was wrong before. He does actually remember Archer. He was kind of talking before as if he didn't remember him. I don't intend to fight as a servant. However, as I have been entrusted with watching over things in Rin's absence, I cannot ignore it. Well, a little more aggressive than the other servants, huh? Anyway, you want to get to the bottom of this just like me. Not willingly. That's why I'm not wearing my mantle. This kind of thing isn't my fight. Aha, so that's why I found him here without it. Archer hasn't gotten serious yet. He's just fulfilling the minimum requirements as the watchdog left behind while Tosca's gone. So can I interpret that to mean you won't take part in the restarted Holy Grail War? You're just playing the part of the superhero defending the piece of Shinto, right? Yeah. You, on the other hand, are an exception to that. There's no need to wait until dark. If you want, how about we just kill each other right here? Archer responds to my murderous urge. My mouth twists eagerly into a grin, and... You've got to be kidding. Like hell am I fighting here? And don't forget, if this is an extension of the Holy Grail War, the fighting's got to be done at night. I smoothly evade his urge to kill me. Let's wrap up our conversation here. See you around, Archer. I begin to head back down the mountain, and then he stabs us in the back. Fine. I will get serious where it concerns you. As a reenactment of the unfulfilled Holy Grail War, I will kill the two of you with everything I have. Provocation and readiness are in his voice. The bowman has proclaimed that he would fight not just me alone, but Saber and her master. If that's the way you want to play it, great. Let's meet again once I'm ready. A noble determination wipes away my coarse lust for blood. This is our license to kill each other. An invisible letter of challenge has definitely been passed between the two of us. Well, so things are getting pretty serious between Shiro and Archer, it seems. No explanation needed. Challenge the bridge at full health. Whatever full health means. How are we to determine if we're at full health? We don't have a health gauge. Okay, go out for a walk. Oh, okay, go out for a walk and confront Archer, I'm assuming. Is that what we're going to do? Should we do it, guys? I mean, are we really ready? I don't know. It's set at full health. I don't know how to determine that. But I guess we should go ahead and do it and just see what plays out. Yeah, don't go alone. Definitely don't go alone. And we can go to the big bridge. I don't anticipate good things. We step onto the boundary of Miyama and Shinto. I recall the words he once said to me. The Shinto area is my shooting range. Those who enter. How many times have I been shot? Once? Several times? Whenever I cross this bridge. You're an exception. I will shoot you between the eyes. I ended up being defeated by you. I mean it when it concerns you, as a reenactment of... Okay, well, I can't read all that. I feel my pulse quickening. The blood that has been sleeping starts flowing, and the rusted circuits start activating. Sorry to keep you waiting, partner. My preparations are all in place. I'm coming to take you down. The bridge is deserted, save for Saber and me. Tonight, with no cars on the roadway, not even the sound of the wind blowing from the sea reaches my tensed-up thoughts. This brings back memories. Back then, we went to the church together just like this, didn't we? Yes, Shiro, who had still not understood what it meant to be a master, I, who had not yet become your servant, and Rin, who had still been our enemy. Looking back on it again, we truly were an odd trio, were we not? She's smiling at the memory of the night from half a year ago. This, too, is a fragment of these precious days, but I cannot afford to get distracted now. But Saber, you were in a pretty sour mood. Granted, having just met, we couldn't talk that much, but you were totally silent all the way to the church. Of course I would be. Now that it is over, I can tell you, the way I had been treated was infuriating. If you were going to disguise me, there ought to have been a better way of doing so. Saber is picky when it comes to disguises. Memories of the numerous expensive disguises she had been wearing last time, during the Fourth Holy Grail War, it seems. She did mention that she had also been dressed up as a man in a black suit. Saber's inability to dematerialize must have caused Kiritsugu a lot of trouble as well. It appears that you have something to say. Very well. As an apology for that incident, let us settle... Oh god. Get the fuck down. This... No? Saber! Above! Saber repels the shot that had been fired from 4 kilometers away. I activate my magic circuits. I drive reinforcement magic into my eyes. Guess who's back? I can see you, Archer. 2 pairs of eyes that should not be able to meet met. Each one is now aware of the other, an enemy that neither should have been able to see. The battle has begun. Tonight, I will cross this bridge. Well, let's hope so. Shiro, what on earth was that? No, how did you detect it before I did? We'll talk later. Here comes the next. We're too confined down here. Bring me up, Saber. Up to where, Shiro? To the spot that's higher and wider than this one. How thoughtful. Looks like the whole place has been reserved for us tonight. The expressway on top of the bridge. Indeed, although our footing and field of vision are much better here. Saber, incoming at 10 o'clock. Find out where it's coming from. The second shot. An interval of 20 seconds. A memory that grazes past my brain tells me that there are 3 shots left. I have located him. I cannot grasp the situation, but there is a sniper on the roof of the center building. I expected nothing less from Saber. We gained a lot by confirming his position from that last shot. What's the meaning of this? That is, no, there's only one person who could. Why is he targeting us? I cannot believe it. How can it be that Archer of all people would want to fight in this war? I don't know. All I know is that he's dead serious about it, and about beating us. What other reason do you need right now? Well, he also wants to kill you. It is as you say, Shiro. I will atone for my error later. Now is the time to intercept Archer with all our power. Oh boy. The third shot. A grace period of 2 more shots. With the 5th, Saber's knees will give out, and the 6th will kill me. These are the unchangeable results that this tactic is leading to. Archer's sniping is increasing in power with every shot. Each time Saber deflects one, he must be putting more magical energy into the next. The firing interval this time was 25 seconds. The next one will likely be 30. These intervals are his weakness. If we can attack him right after he fires, before he can charge the next round, we'll avoid the same fate that's befallen us before. But how? He's 4 kilometers away from us as a straight shot. On the roads we need to take to get to him, the distance is double that. With Saber's Noble Phantasm, we can put up a fight, but with Excalibur, the area of impact is too large. There's the risk of sweeping down not only the center building, but even the surrounding buildings. And on top of that, we're dealing with Archer. Knowing Saber's attacks as well as he does, he must have a defense against Excalibur. The best way to fight a skilled sniper is to get close enough to engage in hand-to-hand combat, but it would be impossible to get that close without him noticing us. All we have to do is close the distance at an extreme speed before he responds. Oh, wait a minute. What if we had Ryder? We could probably easily get to him if we had Ryder. Saber! I fixed her with a meaningful stare. With those hawk eyes he's using to watch us, the movement of my lips would give us away. This fight will be decided in an instant. I can't let him discover what we're planning to do. It is possible. However, my magical energy alone is insufficient. Forgive my rudeness, but even adding your own to mine, Shiro, we would not have enough. There's enough. I've still got this on me. The last command spell remaining on my left hand. Shiro, no, that is our last resort. And even if I should succeed, who will protect you? I cannot agree with this. We should retreat and reorganize our strategy. I'm afraid we can't. After all, we already tried that once. Saber by herself could retreat, but with me here, both of us will be killed. To cross this bridge, I've got to bet everything on our timing, on this moment. I might be able to start over again from the beginning, but I can't redo just this part. Therefore, I better give it everything I've got. Losing the command spell is no big deal. All that matters is the fact of having defeated him, even if only once. Yeah, you don't really have a lot of time to figure out what you should do. The 4th shot. Saber's ability to repel his shots has reached its limit. I'll back you up with the command spell. Saber, can you do it? There's no time. As always, this is the fastest I can manage. Honestly, you are always so quick to make these decisions. Saber lowers her stance. She looks like a carnivorous animal, tensing up the moment before it springs. Your orders, my master. After all, I am your sword. Oh no. What's she gonna do with that? Her blade becomes visible, cutting off all excess magical energy flow to the sword. Saber pours all of her power into her own body. Time it for the next shot. 15 seconds. The firing hammers fall, one by one. Getting the timing right isn't all I have to do. I have two major problems. It will be after the command spell is released that my worth as Emiyashiro will be tested. Command spell. Trigger on. 10 seconds. Command spells allow for the temporary strengthening of servants, a powerful technique that converts that tremendous magical energy into energy for servants. Enough power to fill even Saber's enormous circuit. The King of Knights, one who ruled over the battlefields in the Age of Legends, shall be reborn. The order about to be given with the command spell is fly. This is no metaphorical flight. Saber will literally fly in a single leap from here to the roof of the center building. I didn't even think that was possible. Saber once fought Ryder there in the past. A reenactment of that fight. No, if movement is limited to a straight line, then by raising the amount of magical energy for the time she is in the air, the distance covered in one jump will increase. If all of the magical power of the command spell is used solely to let her fly, then it shouldn't be impossible to reduce the great distance between us down to 0. In accordance to the vow of the Holy Grail, I, the 7th Master, order thee. 5 seconds. Opposing us is a nameless bowman, the heroic spirit of wrought iron that uses the noble phantasms he traces as arrows. The name of the arrow being trained down on us is Hrunting, Hound of the Red Plains. Adjustment, plus 5 seconds. The delay increases. The bow, drawn back to its greatest extent, further increases its own power to combat Saber's magical energy combustion. The problem is in the timing. It would be too risky to launch her first, or at the same time. As Saber herself is about to become an arrow, if she leaps before Archer fires, he will aim at her. Therefore, it has to be done immediately after the shot. In that 10th of a second after he lets his arrow go, that's when we strike. After Archer fires his full force shot and before he charges the next round. No, immediately after he releases the arrow. She will drive her sword right through him. The roar of their swelling magical energy. A showdown that seems enough to shake the moon. 5. Still too early. 3. My command spell feels like it could tear off from the strain. 1. The creaking of the bowstring. His fingers decide the target. Oh boy. The Emiya tracks playing. Saber! Go! Cut that bastard down! Oh my god, she really did launch into the sky. A flash that reduces the time needed to cross a distance of 4,000 meters to nothing. All of Archer's magical power concentrated into the single enchanted sword, his arrow glides through the air, carrying sure death to its target. The name of the trace sword is Hrunting, an enchanted sword that will continue its assault on the target as long as Archer continues to aim, even if it is deflected by Saber. Even if Saber could guard against it, that wouldn't change the result. No, the moment that Saber deflects is the same moment that the arrow roars toward its target. As long as Saber expends her energy on the defense, Archer's victory will remain unshakable. That's right, as long as she expends her energy on defense. A mere instant, not even a fraction of a second. The instant that his fingers released the bowstring and fired. The defense, Saber, disappears from the bridge. The bowman sees through to his enemy's true intention, but it's too late. The arrow has already been fired. Which one of them has now confirmed their victory? Should there be a bowman that can shoot his mark several hundred meters away, he is still bound by an ironclad rule. An arrow, once fired, cannot change its target. Whatever arrows that guarantee a definite hit he may have, a bowman cannot resist this law. Yet it is by conquering that law that he is the heroic spirit of the bow. The arrow is changing its path. No, it is a path that was meant to strike two enemies from the start. He's turned that same rule back on us. A launched saber has no means of dodging. The arrow transforms into a demonic bullet that will shatter the King of Knights. An unavoidable death, one nobody could escape. Oh no. Yes, it is by rising above that fate that she is the heroic spirit of the sword. And she's gonna use Excalibur on that. Light crosses light. A tilting balance, as if it were passing through. The blue light rises to the heavens, as though singing its victory. The red light plummets to the abyss, as though lamenting its defeat. Oh my god. Yeah, Archer's definitely dead. Leaving a huge shockwave in her wake, Saber is released. The timing was perfect. However, a simple command spell won't be enough to conquer this bridge. With my face to the blinding wind so powerful it shakes the handrails, I stare down the approaching bullet. Time stops. In a blank space of time shorter than a second, blood charges in my veins. 1 second after I use the command spell. No time to image. No time needed to image. That which I had forgotten. I'll use it all for this moment. The tension and fear take my breath away. My left hand is burning. I can see my death approaching in 0 seconds. Trace! I gasp for breath, my tongue hanging out like a tired dog's. Laws of physics and magic are rushing about. Time to formation, 0 seconds. Time to direct impact. On! Oh, he's gonna use Ro Ayas. That's a good idea. But will it be enough? Oh, God. Well, it's going to destroy the bridge, if not him. I mean, I'm assuming we accomplished our goal. We defeated Archer. That spectacle. Archer certainly witnessed it. An attack that poured all power, down to that required to breathe, into the left arm. The sparkling of the trace noble phantasm. The tearing of layers of muscle. Coupled with a death-defying counterattack, that boy managed a one-time only defense. As far as the outcome of the battle, the bowman still has the potential to win. The boy's sword is broken, while the arrow, though repelled, still remains in flight. That arrow will soon reverse its course and find its target right between the boy's eyes. That's right, as long as the one who fired the arrow is still intact. Oh, so the arrow can come back to him, that's great. Less than 2 seconds after the 5th shot was fired. How stupid of me to have not readied my swords before notching the 6th shot. It seems that when I reoriented myself towards my main occupation, I took it a little too far. How ironic. It has always been this man's style to use tactics unlike those of a bowman. This servant, who preferred close-quarters combat with his twin swords to the bow, couldn't respond to Saber's attack because he had returned to using his true method of battle. It was a shot worthy of the name of Archer. Had your master been with you, it would not have ended this way. Don't be ridiculous, Saber. If that had been here, I'd have never even gotten the chance to fight you. He answers her praise with laughter. His lips curve into an expression not of contempt, but of fraternal respect. I'm at the end of my rope. Got anything else to say, Saber? Remember the duty of the victor. If you've got questions, go on and ask. A light sound, as if of sand being dispersed. Nothing so awkward as the shedding of blood occurred. Even a servant bleeds while he's still alive. But when that life is definitively severed, all that remains is for him to return to ash. No, I have nothing to ask of you. If you felt the need to take arms, there must have been a just reason for it. I have taken your life. I cannot take anything more from you. A soft chuckle escapes from Archer. Should he take Saber's courtesy as kindness or cruelty? When in battle, the knight carried both within her. There had been a time when he found that contradiction, this self-destructive strength of the heart that would have eaten away at a mere human being, to be beautiful. No, even now, he can't make himself forget it. Long ago, there had been a meeting. The scene had lasted less than a second, but he would remember that scene vividly even when he had gone to hell. Locks of hair illuminated by the moonlight. When he shuts his eyes, even now that image remains in his heart. I lose this time, it seems. I'll be the first to go, Saber. Do your best at being fooled by me. Scattering without gallantry, Archer is destroyed. His bitterness and defeat is all that's left. Sheathing her sword, Saber bites her lip. Above her hangs the black moon. It is almost as if something toxic is about to drip from its cup-like silhouette, slowly, down onto the victor to poison her. 1 hour later, I drag my body, exhausted from that single attack, up to the roof. Saber is staring up at the sky. The strained expression on her face makes me hesitant to call out to her. Shiro, you came to pick me up? There is no vitality in Saber's voice. Archer isn't here, which means she has defeated him. She has no wounds that I can see, but leaping that great a distance must have been painful. Sorry I'm late. Saber, are you alright? I was not injured, but Shiro, what about you? You are quite pale. Doesn't feel so bad, but you may be right. I've been shivering for a while. My strength's probably down since I used up all my magical energy. Even I have to admit that was crazy. Back there, I was so abnormally exhilarated that I couldn't think of the consequences. Let us go back home for tonight. We can begin patrolling Shinto starting tomorrow. For now, your recovery must take precedence. Yeah, you're right. Getting the speed up makes it pretty impossible to do anymore. We leave the roof. Shiro, did we really do the right thing? Yeah, if I had to say, I'm sure we made the right choice. No doubt about it. I've moved past one more new event. The Battle of the Bridge has come to an end for now. Archer has been defeated, the anomaly continues running rampant, and the night of the fourth day goes on in idle slumber. Completion is still a long way off, but for now, I'll rest. Even if that time hasn't come yet. If I keep moving forward, then one way or another, the end will come into view. Dead bridge breakthrough. We can now cross the bridge into Shinto during night patrols. And we got a new wallpaper.